Cuckoo! Hi, it's Kim. We are back with our series, French Women Unfiltered. This is the 4th episode in our series, and I'm excited I get to be with my friend Ludivine today. This is a series where we are interviewing French women, and they are sharing their real honest perspective about life in general, beyond cliches, again, speaking only from their own experience, but very interesting and we'll talk about everything from motherhood, relationships, how they perceive style, disciplining children, and overall, they will offer perspective, advice, and inspiration for us. So with that, I am excited to introduce Ludivine. She and I got to know each other. Gosh, it's been like 2.5 years.
I think so, yeah. As soon as you joined school.
Yes. And so we are friends from school. Her daughter and my son are in the same class. And she's just a lovely person who I'm really happy to have her here. She's lived a lot of different places and has a wonderful perspective. So we are happy to have you.
Thank you.
Yes. So maybe you can just share a little bit about yourself, your family, where you're from, so we can all learn.
So my name is Ludivine. Everybody calls me Lou. It's just easier. So I'm French, born in north of France, in Lille. But as soon, I think when I was 19, I moved to Japan. And it was just supposed to be 6 months university student exchange.
Okay.
And I ended up staying there for like 6 years. I met my husband there. We moved to Hong Kong.
Wow.
We did 13 years in Hong Kong. And we've been back in France for 3 years now.
Amazing. Okay. So let's back up a little bit. So you met your husband who is French in Japan.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
And how did that work out? Like you were hanging out with mostly like French people in Japan, or the same circle, or you knew each other from before?
No, so when I met him, so it was in a bar, not very...
Always a great way to meet people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where all the... I guess it was the part in Tokyo where all the expats were hanging in Roppongi. And I was with my friend, mostly like international friends, because at the time I was working for a recruitment agency. So all kind of nationalities in the agency. And he was with his friends.
Okay.
From the bank he was working, and I knew someone there. So in fact, I saw my friend, he introduced us.
Okay.
That's how it started.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Of all places, like in Tokyo, to find another French person that you end up marrying.
I know.
So
a lot of my friends were disappointed. I was like, you go all the way to Japan and you marry a French guy?
That's so funny.
Like, yeah.
You're like, but it makes sense.
I know.
So it's good. So when you guys were living in Tokyo then, what was the conversation like about like, are we going to stay in Tokyo, or how did you end up making a move to Hong Kong?
So it was not really my choice. My choice, in the sense that we started dating in 2007, and 2009 it was the Lehman Brothers crisis.
Oh, right.
So most of the banks, international banks, they still had banks in Tokyo, but all the trading went to Hong Kong.
Oh, right.
So they all moved to Hong Kong. So at that point, we were just boyfriend and girlfriend. Like no engagement, not married. So it was like tough choice.
Wow.
Like, so he came back. So we knew it was coming because a lot of his colleagues were already moving to Hong Kong.
Okay.
But we were only, I think it was like a year and a half into dating. So that was like a big decision.
I bet. Did he ask you to move with him? Or what was that conversation?
Yeah. So I remember like I opened the door, like we were living together and I could see his face and he was like, oh, it's coming. It's going to be in August. I was like, oh. And I was like, okay, you need to give me a month to decide. Oh. And I remember calling my mom and my mom was saying like, okay, I know you love your job. You love like your life in Japan. But it's easier to find a good job than it is to find a good man. So you need to really think about it.
That's amazing.
And that was a good advice. Like 20 years later, not 20 years, but nearly 20 years later, 2 kids later. So it was a good advice.
It was good advice. That's so interesting because you never know how mothers would respond to that. Some might say, well, there's in the US, for example, my mother might have said, no ring on your finger, you don't move with him.
It's true. Our career first.
It's so interesting.
Yeah. So he did propose. As soon as I said like, okay, we went on a trip in New Caledonia and he proposed there. So it was nice.
That's so he kind of knew like this was a big step. And,
not that I wouldn't have moved if we were not engaged. That was not the point, but more like, okay, that's the natural next step anyway. If I'm moving for him
Yes.
to Hong Kong,
Yes.
like it's going to be the natural step. So
Okay. Oh, that's so
was nice.
great. Oh, it's really nice. And so tell me a little, like, how did you like Hong Kong at first? Or was it an adjustment from Tokyo?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was not very keen on Hong Kong at the beginning.
Okay.
So I had been there as a holiday with a colleague of mine,
Okay.
and I didn't like it at all. I lost my credit card. I didn't have money. Everything smelled. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So when he told me Hong Kong, I was like,
You're like, oh no.
But they sent us for a discovery trip for like a few days.
Okay.
And
Yep.
we went to all the nicest parts and thing. And our friends who were already there moved from Tokyo to Hong Kong.
Okay.
They took us, and I was like, okay, I can do it.
Okay.
I can
So
do
you
it.
got
It
to
was-
see a better.
Yes, it was nice. And we thought we were going to stay like 2 years.
Yeah.
And we ended up like 13 years. And it was very hard to
Wow.
leave. So
I bet.
yeah.
So you really fell in love with it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Hong Kong people they only know like the big city, the big buildings,
Yes.
but it's actually on an island.
Yes.
So you've got like the city, but 90% the rest is like just like mountains,
Yeah.
beach. So
Oh.
20 minutes you're at the beach. You've got amazing hikes. It looks like you're in Hawaii.
Oh my gosh.
And if you go to the mainland,
Yeah.
it's so Kowloon and the new territories.
Yes.
It's just like thousands of islands, and you can go hike
Wow.
on them. It's very,
It's
very nice.
amazing.
It's very
Okay. So
beautiful.
lifestyle is really good.
Yes, because
Yes.
you got the big city and the nature,
Okay.
like tons of expats.
Yeah.
So like food, any kind
Yeah,
of
the food is amazing.
No, it's
Yeah.
good. Traveling super easy.
Oh, interesting.
So, no,
It's so
great.
interesting because I went to Hong Kong. My husband and I went for our honeymoon. We flew in there and
Yeah.
then did a lot of other things after. But we liked it. We were like, wow, what? To your point, like at first, it's like, a really big, chaotic city.
Yes, yeah.
Because I think naturally you stay in like the center of where all
Yeah.
the bigger buildings are, et cetera. But I thought it was beautiful and I love the food. So
Yes.
yeah.
No, it's nice.
That's
And
great.
People, I think all the people we met,
Yeah.
it was like, oh, we're just staying for a year or two. And they all
They all
end up
stayed.
staying forever. But we have friends, they've been there for 20
still
years. They
there?
bought place and they're never coming back.
Oh my gosh.
So
It's
yeah, no,
amazing.
it's nice.
So
It's nice.
you had children there, is that
Yes.
right? Okay, so your kids were born in Hong Kong.
Yes, both
Okay.
of them were born in Hong
Okay.
Kong.
So tell me about your
yeah.
children, how old they are.
So Raphael is 13 years old.
Okay.
And Clémence,
Yes.
same age as Thompson.
Yes,
So
okay.
she's 8,
Okay.
turning 9 soon.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes. Okay.
So boy and girl.
And so let's see. So just about languages. So when you were in Hong Kong,
Mhm.
what did you speak at home as your home language to your children or as a family?
Yeah, we spoke French.
Always French.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in Hong Kong, you have live-in helper.
Okay.
So with her, it would be English. So English when she was around, and French just the
With
four
your
of us.
family. Okay.
Yes.
And so did your children learn English like from living in Hong Kong or how did they?
Yeah, but it's at the beginning they just learn it from playground.
Oh,
Like
okay.
you live in like high rises.
Okay.
So usually like you're like tons of apartment, and downstairs there's like a big playroom. So all the kids
Oh.
they go there.
Oh, that's fun.
And yeah, it was really, really good. And you have a
Yeah.
pool in the building. So you're always with like tons of nationalities. So
Wow.
English is the language.
language,
You have
okay.
to learn the English. And Raphael's first school was like full English, like
Okay.
British school. So yeah.
Wow.
So for them, it was like always natural, and it was much
Interesting.
harder to speak French than it was to speak English.
Really?
Yeah, they were just like everything was in English.
Oh,
there, like,
interesting.
so yeah, Rafa had a hard time. Like when
Oh,
we put him to French school,
Yeah.
he had to had a interview to see if he could go to bilingual, because in
Wow.
the French school you have like bilingual, like our kids do, like
Yes.
half and half,
Half and
or
half,
you
okay.
got like French.
Oh, they have that in Hong Kong, like in
Yeah.
all French school.
Yes,
Okay.
and you have to have an interview at 3 years old, and
Wow.
we had to like really. He was
3
not ready. The
In
French was not
French.
great.
So
Yeah.
did he end up getting into that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then he was at a French school in Hong Kong.
Yes.
And then your daughter was not quite French, like school age yet?
No, she went to a British kindergarten.
Okay.
And after the French international.
Oh, then she was in a French international school. Okay.
Yeah.
So what was the conversation like about, we love Hong Kong, we're happy, but it's time to go back to France?
COVID happened.
Ah, okay.
So COVID was not super fun in
No.
Hong Kong. It was not the worst. Like China was worse,
Yeah,
but Hong Kong was
was
not
pretty
fun.
bad,
So we couldn't
yeah.
come back for 3 years. Because if you come back, you had to do the quarantine
Oh,
on
yes.
the way back. And it was 3 weeks in like a really, really bad place. It was not even in your house.
Oh, you couldn't be in your house?
No. You had to go to the quarantine centers.
There was a center?
Yeah. And you might
Oh my
not be all
gosh.
together. And if you tested positive for COVID, you would end up in the hospital. The kids would be separated from the parents. It was really bad.
Terrible.
It was really bad. So we stayed put.
Okay.
We didn't go anywhere.
Meaning you
And,
stayed put in Hong Kong, or you stayed put in France?
No, in Hong Kong.
Okay, so you just never left the country.
We left at the very
Okay.
beginning. We went to Bali for 2 months with the friends,
Amazing.
without husband. And after we came back, because we're like, okay, it's
Yeah.
not getting better.
Uh-huh.
But at the beginning, it started in China.
Okay.
And because of SARS, started in
Yes.
China too, and stayed only in
Oh,
it
yeah.
started in Hong Kong and stayed in Hong Kong.
Yes.
That might be the same. So let's get out of Hong Kong. And after
Okay.
it spread everywhere. So like, okay, let's go back.
So that was when you decided.
Yes.
Okay. And then how did you decide on Aix-en-Provence? Because you're from Lille, the
Yes.
northern part. Where's
Yeah.
your husband from? in France?
Tours. So the
Okay.
center.
Oh, the center. Okay.
Yeah, where all the castles are.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very nice. We decided Aix because we didn't want to live in Paris.
Okay.
We wanted international schools.
Okay.
And we needed TGV.
Oh,
So
got
there's
it.
not that many options.
Yes.
Like Lille, my place is like super, super
Yeah,
nice
I
place.
heard it's
like
beautiful.
very international.
Yeah.
No, international. International school. There, it's good. And it's
Okay.
very close to Paris. Only
Yes.
an hour by TGV. But the weather,
It's not good.
But it's like Paris and
Yeah.
London.
So you needed some sunshine.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Hong Kong, we are very lucky with the beach, like all year
Yes,
round, like
yes.
hot, but good weather. So we need the sunshine.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
it was Aix or Bordeaux.
Oh, yes. We
Bordeaux,
looked
it
up Bordeaux
rains
too.
a lot more.
Yeah. And
So
foggy.
Aix and foggy.
Yeah, I was like, no. We
Yeah.
were coming from San Francisco, which has a
Yes.
lot of fog.
Yeah.
And the minute someone told me we visited Bordeaux and we saw the international school, and someone was like, it's very foggy here.
Yeah.
And I was like, never mind, not here.
Yeah. No, but it's true. I think there's a microclimate
There's-
because if you go
yes.
like maybe half an hour west,
Yes.
it's good weather.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
like
it's just
Arcachon
like,
is much better. And,
wow. That's very similar to San Francisco. Like you go over the bridge, like
Yeah,
the
it's
Golden
true.
Gate or the other bridge, and you're easily in like sunshine and
Yeah.
better weather. So
Yeah, true.
okay. Well, I think we've made the right call. Just out of curiosity, how did you like rule out Paris? Was it mostly weather related, or was it like we were in a big city, we don't want another big city? Like, how did you think about that?
No, it was more, I don't know.
Yeah, just not
Just like
where you wanted
busy.
to raise your kids. Yeah.
We wanted a house. We
Yeah.
wanted a garden.
Yeah.
We didn't. In Paris, to have a house and a garden, you would
Yeah.
be outside of Paris. So
Right.
you're not really
In
in Paris.
Paris. Yeah.
Kind of like New Jersey and New
Yeah.
York. It's not the same.
not the same.
So
Yeah.
we're like, no. And JB
Okay.
has some roots around here. So
Okay.
I was like, oh, Provence is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. First time I came to Aix, I was like, it's quite small.
It does feel small
Yeah.
as compared to where
Exactly.
if you've come from a bigger city. Like I felt that way too. Like
Yeah.
even we were in New York and then San Francisco and then we came here. And again, we were supposed to stay 1 year, kind of like all people, I think.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's charming for 1 year. Like,
Yeah.
but I start to like, I need some big city.
Yes.
But the good thing is, to your point, the TGV, for those of you listening, is a 3-hour fast train
Yeah.
from Aix-en-Provence directly into the center of Paris. And so we can get that
It's
pretty
very easy.
easily. Yeah.
And big city, you have Marseille. If
Yes.
you know where to go, it's like big city,
Yes,
very nice.
for sure.
But,
Yeah,
yeah.
much more international than X, for
Yes.
sure. But
Yeah.
yes. So tell me a little bit about your kids and their move like to France, because they'd never lived in France,
No.
right? Okay, and how old were they at the time?
So Rafa was 10.
Okay.
Yeah, and Clémence, she was like 5.5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
What
yeah,
did
Rafa
they-
was not 10. Yeah, 10.
10. Okay.
Yeah.
And what did they, were you like, we're going back to where mom and dad are from? Or how was
Yeah.
that?
But I think because of COVID, like
Yeah.
lots of people left
Ah,
Hong
okay,
Kong, like
okay.
over the 3 years before we left. So they saw all their friends going.
Oh,
So
I
it was
see.
not like
Got it.
we're the only one moving.
Yeah.
Even though we were not moving where their friends left.
Yes.
So they were kind of getting used to it. And Rafa has always been like, he was born and raised in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
He only went back to France for the holidays, but he always felt like so French.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's like
Wow.
very French in heart. So he was super happy to go to France and to live closer to his family and to be
Okay.
able to be closer to his soccer team.
Oh, football.
Marseille, yeah.
Yes. Oh, he loves football.
Yeah.
And he cheers for Marseille.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So no, but for him it was like really like,
Oh,
I'm
that's
gonna be
so
able to go to
cool.
the game.
Wow,
Yeah, it
that's
was,
what
like,
it was
really
like. I
yeah.
get to live in France and feel
Yeah.
at home.
Yeah.
That's very, very cool. And
Yeah.
what about your daughter?
Oh, I think she was a bit too small.
young to really
So she
know.
was
Yeah.
really sad to leave her friends. To
Yes.
leave our nanny was like a big
Oh, I
drama for
bet.
everybody.
Because she lived with you, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And she's
Yeah.
been part of the family since
Oh.
Rafa was 2 years old.
Oh my
So it
gosh.
was very, very hard.
Oh, that is
But
hard.
yeah,
But and then once they were settled here,
yeah.
did they feel like they ever ask about, oh, what life in Hong Kong? Should we go back? Or is it now like they're pretty
No, yeah.
okay?
For holidays, yes.
Yes.
To
Okay.
leave,
No.
no,
Okay.
not really.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
pretty it's so the transition wasn't too bad.
It was much, much easier.
Okay.
Like we always think like it's gonna be
I
horrible. We
know.
do everything for them. Like, oh, we
Yes.
can't do it at this age. It's gonna be hard. It's so easy.
Oh, really?
So
So those
easy.
were good ages, like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
5.5 and 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We wanted to do it before the end of primary
Yes.
because we knew like, yeah, changing when you're 13,
Mhm.
14, it's harder.
Yeah.
So it was like really good timing.
Yes.
And the choice of the city and the school
Yeah.
was very good.
Okay.
Like if we had gone back to like a full French
Yeah.
public or private
Yes.
school, but like classic French,
Yes.
it would have been much harder.
Oh, interesting. Because they were kind of used to international
Yes.
schools, right? And
Yeah.
this, I feel like the school our kids are at is a good balance of like English,
Yes.
French, so they
Yeah.
get kind of exposure to both. So,
Yeah.
oh, that's
Definitely.
awesome.
So that
Okay.
that was good.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so since you're back in France, I'm
Yeah.
asking every one of our guests this question. What part of being French do you feel most in your daily life?
That's a really hard question. I don't know. Because like living abroad,
Yes.
we always thought like the good thing and the bad thing of coming back living in France.
Yes.
But I never thought like what are the good thing and bad thing of like how you feel French. I don't know. I would say like generally the culture.
Okay.
Yeah, the culture, like how how you're seen as an American in France,
Yes.
like how we're seen as French. Like it was always about like the fashion, the luxury, the craftsmanship. So that part of the French history, it's very nice.
Okay.
The culture, like the food,
Yeah.
I think the work-life balance
Yes.
is good in France.
For sure.
And French are very big on like spending time with your family,
Yes.
enjoying time with your family. So that part of like your life balance, I
Yes.
think it's
It's
very,
probably-
very good in France. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, I totally agree.
French.
Especially, do you compare that like to Tokyo or Hong Kong where you live?
Yeah, it's very different.
Very different.
Very
Okay.
different.
Like much more take time to like enjoy
Yes.
your life, take vacation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Like
Yes.
long lunches.
Yeah.
It's very, very different. It's not everything is about work.
Yeah.
Not everything is about like in Hong Kong, it was like a lot about the family, but like living all together as a family, the grandparents and the parents and the great parents.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was like a bit too much.
Okay.
And yeah, I think it's quite different.
Yeah. So you're happy to be back in general.
We're very happy to be
Yes.
back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's amazing. Okay. I'm going to switch gears a little bit. So after you and your husband got married,
Yes.
how would you say keeping your own independence versus like kind of taking on now we're a family unit? For example, a lot of French women have said, well, I keep my own last name, or, we have this kind of like relationship where we divide everything just in case something happens. Like how, just curious what your perception.
So I did keep my last name,
Yes.
but just because I think when you start to work, it's kind of hard to
I know,
change name because
for
after,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I did keep my name. I use both names, but
Okay.
like on administrative point of view, I use my name.
Okay.
And after we share everything.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
Okay.
yeah, JB has always been because I followed him without a job.
Right.
So he's always been like really amazing at that.
Oh.
Like what's mine is yours, and
That's awesome. That's
because
awesome.
not everybody's like that. So
For sure.
no, for that
Yeah.
it's very good. So
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. And do your children have then your husband's last name or your last
No,
name?
only his.
Only his. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you just keep yours for like
Yeah.
you said, work
Yes.
administration. Okay.
Yeah. 'Cause
Okay.
I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think even if I gave them both names,
Yes.
by 18 they would need to keep only one.
Oh, interesting.
I think so. I'm
Okay.
not entirely sure, but I
Okay.
think so.
I know a lot of people hyphenate or
Yes.
or in the United States sometimes. I think this is more in the south of the US because my husband's, a lot of his friends, the woman ends up using her last name as her middle name and then takes
Okay.
the family husband's last name. Isn't that interesting?
Okay.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's only a regional thing in the US,
Yeah.
but
But you don't
anyways.
have middle names in the US?
No, we do. But then you
so
have
they add one.
or they
Ah.
they substitute out their original middle name and took their
Okay.
last name.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
interesting.
Yeah.
We're all learning things.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, raising children. I'm just going to switch to that for a minute. So, how did you observe, like, and maybe even in your own behavior when you were living in Hong Kong with your children versus in France? So, for example, like, is there more discipline, structure? Is there more freedom, independence? Like, could you talk to me a little bit about both your own parenting style as well as the school and how you kind of see that, like, difference between the two?
Very different because in Hong Kong, like in Dubai or in Singapore, you've got help at home. So you've
Okay.
got live-in helpers. So you can spend time with your kids. You can call at 7 p.m. say like, oh, I'm not coming back. I'm going for dinner with my friends, and she will take care of the kids. So it's completely different life. Where
Wow.
back in France, I'm alone with the kids.
Of course.
So I'm always with the kids. But it's very different. Yeah. So it's very, very
Interesting.
different. And in France, we have less that culture of going out every night for dinner
Yeah.
and calling a babysitter because like in the US you have to pay for it.
Yes,
Blah, blah, blah.
for sure.
So we stay home a lot more than we used to in Hong
Oh,
Kong.
interesting. Because you and your husband had a little more freedom in Hong Kong to be like, oh,
Yeah.
it's Tuesday night and we feel like grabbing dinner,
Exactly.
and you had someone always there with
Yeah,
the kids.
last minute because she
Yeah.
was sleeping at home, so she would be
Right.
like, okay, fine, I
Of
put them to
course.
bed. And
Wow,
so
I
that's
thought
very,
that was kind of nice when
oh,
you had
that's
young
amazing.
children.
Yeah, but that's why I think a lot of people stay a long time
Ah,
because they're not married, they have kids, and
yes.
they're like, oh, helper is amazing because
Wow.
I think you can have it all. You can
Yeah.
have your career, you can have your kids, you can be
Wow.
a mom, you can be friends,
Wow.
you have like good social life, so you can balance
Huh.
everything easily there.
That's so interesting.
That's
It's
very good.
rare that, well, in general, I feel like women, it's very hard to have it all
Yes.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, I think you can have important parts of your life at different times of your life, but I think it's very, very hard to like do all of that and do all of it
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
And unless you have like a structure that
Yeah.
allows for it. And it sounds like Hong Kong
Yes.
does. That's still not just for the like ultra wealthy. Is that correct? Like it's kind
no,
of like
no. It's
this is more
yeah.
egalitarian of like,
yeah.
okay,
Everybody has a helper, and
really?
after yeah, everybody has a helper.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it does allow women to like
Yes.
work. They don't have to be at home with their kids. Okay.
Exactly.
Interesting. So when
Yeah.
you came to France, were you like, oh, where's my helper?
I know. So that was a discussion too, like to go back to France when the kids were old enough
Yes.
to not to take care of
No, of
themselves,
course, but a
you know
little
what I
more
mean?
independent for sure
exactly.
than babies. And
Yeah.
yes.
But we
Okay.
call her all the time. I always like, I miss you so much, Lorna.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
cute. Oh.
Mm.
And what about the school system? So your son was in the French school, right?
Yes.
But what sort of differences do you see between like international schools there than here?
But because we chose the schools that our kids are, it's very similar.
Okay.
It was like Monday, Tuesday in French,
Yeah,
and
got
Thursday, Friday in English, and
okay.
Wednesday was half. So it was
Okay.
very, very
Wow,
similar
very similar structure.
because we chose the bilingual.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But you had the option. So the French International, I think it's everywhere in the world. Like they have to have French curriculum, they have to have the IB,
Yes.
and in the French curriculum, they have French or French bilingual.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about what that means because I had to learn all of this myself.
Yeah.
So there's the IB and then the baccalaureate,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Could you just explain the difference?
So baccalauréat is the French diploma.
Okay.
So only in French. But you do have like a level of English, but it's like one subject among others.
Yes.
And IB would be all in English.
Yes. Okay.
And it's different. So baccalaureate changed from when I passed it
Okay.
many years ago. So now it's a bit more similar to the IB where you have less subject and you
okay.
can choose some of your subjects.
Okay.
Before you had every subject. So you had like maybe 13, I don't know, 10, 13
Wow.
subjects, and you had like some were worth more than others.
Interesting.
But yeah, you had history, math, all the basic subject.
Yes.
Now, from what I understood, you can skip some. So if you don't want to do history anymore, you don't have to do history anymore. Like more, I think in the US or in the A levels.
Yes. Okay. It's
Yeah.
interesting. And this is, I think, something I've learned here. It's in high school, you have to kind of choose a path.
Yeah.
Like high school would be called lycée. Oui?
Yes.
Oh, yes. And you kind of choose if you're likely to stay in French. It makes probably more sense to do the French baccalaureate, like you, right? Is that what you did, or you did your international baccalaureate?
I had no choice. At the time, IB was not a thing in
Oh, it
France.
was not a thing.
No,
Oh,
at all.
interesting. So
And
that's relatively new.
I think it's new
Oh,
and
okay.
it's still not 100% appreciated everywhere,
Interesting.
but it's definitely getting there. Because
Okay.
I think the IB level, it's much better than the French baccalaureate at the moment.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the
Okay.
baccalaureate years after years went a bit down.
Oh, went down. Okay.
Yeah.
And but the international baccalaureate is if you like, it gives you kind of the freedom to live or go to
Yes.
different universities all over the world. Is
Yes.
that true?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's mostly in English.
I think it's all in English.
Oh, it's all in
Yeah,
English.
the IB is all in English.
Ah, very
It's a
interesting.
worldwide exam, so they all
Yes.
take the same day, like
Oh, the same,
worldwide.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
All in English.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in France, English is, some people speak it, some people don't. So a lot of schools, they're like, why would I take you? You did the IB?
They don't care.
No, they don't care. If you do medicine, there's no point of taking the IB. You should take the French baccalaureate.
Interesting.
If you do law, what's the
Yeah.
point? But if you do engineering, business, or whatever, it's good that you do it.
I see. Okay.
So I think for us, the choice between the IB and the baccalaureate really depends on what our kids will want to do later.
Wow.
But they don't know yet, obviously. So it's really...
It's so interesting because I always thought it was so early for someone to decide in university what they want to do.
Yes.
And that's you're 18 normally.
Yeah.
This is like you're what, 14?
Yeah, I think
Like
my
your son
has
is
to decide.
deciding?
Yeah, by the end of next year, he has to decide.
So he has to decide like a bit of his career path. Like, does he want to be an engineer or a doctor or?
No, next year he's going to have to decide whether he wants to do IB or French baccalaureate. And after, he's going to decide more specific. I think when they choose the IB subject,
Yes.
it needs to be coherent with what they will do later.
Okay.
So it's like more math, more science, more language.
That's still a very big decision
it
at
is.
14.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just imagining
know.
for him, he's like, yeah.
And he's a boy, so
Yeah, he's a boy, so
whatever.
So it's like whatever
Exactly.
whatever needs to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. Thank you for the education on that because it's something I've had to like really learn and think about down the road for our children. So, okay, I'm going to switch gears a little bit talking about some of our fun topics.
Okay.
As a French woman, how important is appearance like in general, would you say? And you can speak about yourself or just in general, like you mentioned one of the things that you identify most is like culture, like kind of feeling like the craftsmanship and the style, I'm guessing, is part of that. How
think
do you
so,
feel?
yeah.
Yeah. How important would you say that is in France?
I think that's important.
Okay.
So maybe now it's changing a little bit. Like younger, they're more into like relaxed fits and stuff. But I think it's still very deep into you. Yeah, you dress nice. You don't go out in your pajamas.
Right.
Or, even if you go to the gym,
Yeah.
you don't go in your gym clothes and you change.
Oh, I
and
learned
you go
that,
out.
Lou. Don't worry. Don't worry.
I know, but I think it's still very it's better than before, but I think it's still there, and I think people do take care of their appearance a lot, but it's hidden in a way. Like everybody puts makeup, but you don't. It doesn't look like you wear a lot of makeup.
Yep.
Like your hair is the same. Like you know what I mean?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
Effortless
chic.
Exactly. So I think,
but you put some effort in.
Yeah.
But you kind of hide it.
Yeah, it's not like, there's not like a lot of makeup or like super structured hairstyle. Even if the I think the younger generation with all like the social media, they do it a lot more than we used to.
Okay.
You don't think so?
No, I do, but I see it. I still see like the younger French, at least because we live in a bit of a university town and obviously we're right in the city center. Still not to the degree of like the United States.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't think it's still done, I would say, like you can tell they're wearing more makeup than maybe someone in their like 30s or 40s, but it's not like overdone where you're like, whoa, that looks like a lot. Like I think it's actually done pretty tastefully in general. And I can see the difference though in the style is definitely like a little more casual than if you saw like a woman and I always laugh at like the women in our town that are in their like 80s. Yeah. And they're still in heels and tights and like like the jacket. And I mean, I just love it because I
Yeah.
feel like they look so fabulous.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that takes a lot of effort
Yeah.
in your 80s to like put all that on and walk around in heels.
It's true.
But I think it really speaks to how important like appearance and I'm guessing that at least what I've heard and read is like it also comes from like it's not totally about impressing somebody else. It's like to make you feel good. Is that true? Like you feel better if you present yourself better.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any like dressing for other French women? Like
Dressing?
Like meaning like, oh, well, I want to look cool and I'm going to see all these people. So I want a good outfit. Oh, there's definitely that. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's
so it's not just totally for yourself.
Yeah. No, it's different. And there's even a difference in how people dress in Paris and outside of Paris. Like in the South, it's like more colorful, more like flowy dress. In Paris, you don't wear that. So even if I go back to my hometown or if I go to Paris, I would kind of take different clothes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. What kind of clothes would you wear here that you wouldn't wear in Paris?
But weather dependent. So definitely
dresses.
In Paris, you don't wear. I guess if it's summer, it's different.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't take like flip flops in Paris.
No. But I don't think you would wear that here either, though.
But not here. But if you go like more to like the beach side, or if you go, like you're fine. Yeah. I guess it depends where you are, what kind of clothes you wear.
Okay, very, very interesting. Okay, and then what about aging? Like, how do women? Is it something that women embrace more in France? Would you say, or is there still like I'm going to do everything I can to prevent it? What's the sort of perception? Would you say?
I think like every woman, like it's more like we're going to do everything we can to prevent it, but not go cosmetic surgery. Like natural with cream or maybe like the moment like people are very into like Kobido massages, that kind of thing.
Yes.
But I don't think we're there yet in terms of cosmetic surgery. People are still very scared of it.
Really?
I think so.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know a lot of people, they are going for Botox.
Yeah.
So I think it's coming.
Oh, you think it's kind of still at its like infant stage?
I think so. I think I guess it depends on people too. But now, like if you want to find a dermatologist in France, like for like a skincare problem, you would never find one because they're booked for like cosmetic surgery.
I tried, and I'm like, why are there no dermatologists?
Yeah. But it's because now they go like there's more money in cosmetic surgery, so they specialize in cosmetic surgery. So it's
very
it
interesting.
Seems to become more popular because we can't find dermatologists.
Oh, that's so interesting because they're the ones that are authorized to do Botox, for example.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, very interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I've heard also that like women do it, like do Botox or whatever, but they'll like hide it and say, "Oh, I just woke up like this," and it's like not. It's still a little like secretive. I would
very
say
suspicious. But it's true when we watch some American show and they do like Botox party and think like I guess we're a bit far from it, but it might come.
Bubbles and Botox. I don't know. I don't know if I could see that here.
I don't know.
Although it'd be with really good champagne, so that would be a little better.
It's
but
true.
Still.
True.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. All right. I am going to switch. I do want to ask you about like, now that you're back in France, do you follow what I would call like the daily rhythm or schedule of like the French? So for example, like after school, do your kids have goûter? And then do you eat it together as a family at a certain time and they go to bed at a certain time? Like, talk to me a little bit about your schedule.
Yeah. So I think even in Hong Kong was the same.
Okay.
Like so there's goûter after school. Like let's say 4 or 5, depending on when they come back, and 7 we eat dinner. So it's very early. For French, it's very early. For like British or even Americans, it's quite late.
Yeah.
But 7 we eat dinner.
Okay.
So 7 to 8 as a family all together.
Yes.
So it's the time that we talk and things. So.
We've actually completely adopted the French schedule here.
Yeah?
Yes. I would say in the US we did not. But now our kids have goûter, like probably around like between 4 and 5. And that's when they're allowed their dessert, in my opinion. So I'm like, eat whatever you want. Like anything sweet, great. And then we have dinner as a family at 7. And that's our time, like no phones, everyone just, talk.
Chats,
But then there's no dessert after that for my children. And for me, I sometimes sneak chocolate, but normally
Okay.
it's
Oh,
not.
yeah, we always have dessert. But yeah. Clémence, not so much because she's not
Okay.
like super, but yeah, we all have
Always have
dessert.
dessert
Yeah,
together.
I can't finish my meal without dessert. And I
Really?
never go to bed without a piece of chocolate.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that, you think that's French or just
I
like,
don't know.
I don't know.
But dessert, yeah, definitely. Like we always have. And you know, like the French, like traditional is like a starter, the
Yes.
meal,
Yes.
and
And the
sometimes the
dessert.
cheese and the
Yes.
dessert.
And
So
then
we
the
don't do
fromage.
starters because
Okay.
after it's too much.
Yeah.
But my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, they always have starter. They can't do a meal without the starter and the meal and the dessert
So the
and the
meals
wine.
and the wine. So
Yeah.
the meals are still very
Yeah.
traditional in the like formula of
Oh, yeah.
entree, plat,
Yeah.
dessert.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And like lunch and dinner.
Lunch and dinner?
And dinner, yeah.
And you'd think that'd be a lot of food, but the portions are small.
Yes.
Yes. So that makes the difference.
True.
And then do you do like the cafe after dinner?
Yes, some people do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depends if you can sleep after or not.
I,
Yeah.
we haven't adopted that yet.
Yeah, but or decaf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
decaf potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's decaf, by the way, for those of you
Decaf,
listening.
yeah.
Okay, let's talk about your, like, now that we're on kind of the schedule, what was your relationship with food like growing up? Like, did both your parents cook? Was it pretty traditional, like northern French food? Like, what was sort of...
Yeah, so it was, I think, mostly my mother was
Okay.
cooking very simple food
Okay.
because she was coming home quite late from work,
Ah.
like 7:30, so like easy
Yeah.
everyday food.
Okay.
And always meal together,
Oh,
definitely.
nice. Okay.
Sunday, a nicer meal,
Yeah.
like, thing, and longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much of that have you carried into now you as a mother? Like, do you cook like traditional French food? Or are you like, I kind of do a mix of both? What is sort of your family dynamic?
Yeah, I'm not like an amazing cook, so I cook like very simple dish and dish that everybody will like.
Okay.
So it's very hard to
Oh,
find
I
that the
know.
four of them.
Trust me. Yeah.
Because before I was cooking like two things,
Same.
like for us and for the kids, and it
I
starts to
gave
be
that
annoying.
up. No, it's
Yeah.
not sustainable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it needs, everybody needs to like
Yeah.
it. So it's quite simple.
Yes.
Like some of the traditional French dish, there's a lot of sauce and a lot
Uh-huh.
of ingredients that the
Yes.
kids don't like.
Same.
So
Same.
yeah, I don't cook them often.
Yeah.
And I think because we lived in Asia for so long,
Oh,
where
yeah.
everything, you don't cook in Asia.
You don't cook in Asia?
No, because your kitchen is very small, so you
Oh.
don't cook. So everybody's eating out all the time.
All the time?
All the time, nearly all the time.
Like all of your meals?
Yeah. But
Wow.
we were not doing that, but like people in general.
Oh, that's pretty normal.
Yeah. So we are
interesting.
used to eat a lot outside, to
Wow.
have Deliveroo and stuff. So yeah. So I cook a lot,
Okay.
but we order in sometimes.
You do? Okay. Do you
Yeah.
order in like Asian food?
Yes.
Okay.
So when the kids are not there, we order like Asian food.
Okay. I might have to get your list because I'm still searching
Yeah.
for some
Yeah,
like
in Aix,
really...
it's not the.
Oh, yeah,
but
it's not
up-
quite up to
yeah.
the standard, even compared to San Francisco, which
Yeah,
had really
for sure.
amazing
I know,
food.
for sure.
Yeah. Okay. And then what about, like, let's talk a little bit about the wine culture. Like,
Mhm.
I know you personally don't love wine,
Mhm.
which is like very non-French.
Very weird, no French. I know. No beer, no wine.
No beer, no wine. Okay. But does your like husband have like a glass of wine with a meal? Like, would you guys consider that like if you were having people over, like you'd always have
Yeah.
good wine with meals? Okay. And
Yeah.
would you say in general, I've noticed like, and maybe you can speak to your husband, like pretty educated about wine, like knowing this is from this region and these are these grapes and that's really good and this compared to this, like how... I just feel like there's a very savvy
Yes.
culture of wine here that I'm still learning.
Yeah. No, it's true. Like usually my husband likes wine, but not like a wine connoisseur.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has his preferred cepage and his
Okay.
preferred region. And
Oh,
you
and
know,
he knows.
yeah. But I think now he goes less into rouge, like red,
Okay.
and he goes more into like Provence and
Ah.
the rosé because it's easier
Yeah.
to drink.
Oh, it's easier to drink and it's less expensive here because it's
True.
very local. So
Yeah, true.
okay, I'm going to switch away from food for a second. Social media. So curious kind of culturally how social media is perceived in France,
Mhm.
and then maybe speak a little bit because you have a teenager,
Yeah.
what it's like at that age in the schools. Is it pretty prevalent? Is it something is still considered kind of new here? What's sort of the...
So for my son, we thought like we won't give him a phone until he's like whatever.
I know that's what we keep saying.
I know. And when he turned, but last year he went from primary to college.
Secondary, yeah.
So we thought like, you don't need a phone. I'm dropping you every day at school.
Yeah.
You don't take the bus.
Right.
When you go out with your friend, which is not that often alone.
Yeah.
You don't need one.
Right.
Everybody else had one. And he didn't really ask for it, but
Okay.
he kind of dropped hints like, everybody has a phone and they're talking on like WhatsApp, and even some teachers, they're reaching on WhatsApp, which is not okay. No, but I don't think it's very
you
true.
think that's not true? Okay.
Yeah, or maybe one teacher, but I don't know. And so we thought like we don't want him to be excluded, so we gave him a phone.
Okay, and
so
he was 13.
He was 12.
12, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but with some rules.
Yes, of
like
course.
Not after 8 p.m.
Okay.
Like there's the downtime, and you can use it only for like 1 hour per day or something like that. So he's been really good with it.
Okay. Oh, that's really good. So you're not worried about it.
I told him like I can check whenever.
Yeah.
I never do.
Yeah.
Maybe I should more. When I do, and I read sometimes the text, like,
you're like, maybe I don't want to read this.
Yeah, but it's like
very
it's
innocent.
Stupid
Okay.
thing, but the spelling.
Oh,
horrendous.
Oh, so you get almost more frustrated by how he can't spell.
Yeah.
In French or English?
But
both.
Yeah, both. It's like really bad. Just the way they're like.
I love that you're more concerned about how he's spelling his text
because
than you are about the context.
They're saying is
You're like, it's pretty benign, like innocent. Yeah.
Yeah. It's more like, can you play, and can you play on like PS5 or something?
Oh,
it's
they
like
wanted
very
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Like it's very innocent, and he's not allowed on social media.
Oh, I was going to say there's no social media apps on his phone.
No.
Okay.
So he watches YouTube.
Yeah.
But he can't have TikTok.
Yeah. Okay.
He just got Instagram because they did like a 13 like teen thing.
Teen thing, yeah.
So my husband was like, I signed up on Instagram.
You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, fine.
Well, hopefully that stays like innocent, on Instagram.
Yeah. I think so.
I think so too.
I check a lot. Like
you
I
do?
always,
Okay.
I check. I ask him. About it.
Okay.
And hopefully it will be okay. I think it's very hard because you don't want to give them.
I know.
But at the same time, if you don't give them, they will be the only one without them. So it's really, really hard to find a good balance.
I know. I feel that way too. I mean, it's really hard. I think especially like even I would say your daughter, my son, it starts like just little things like an iPad, or they want to play like we got him a Nintendo, and then it's like we have to set rules on that, So it's all the things.
It's really hard. And some kids, they're very good, and you say stop, they stop.
Yes.
Some like
I know.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. I have some crazy story like my family and stuff where the kid, he would like sneak in at night and get the iPad and watch until like 5 a.m. and they wake him up from school. He's like, why are you so tired? I don't get it. And they found out later that he did the whole night at like 12. So you need to be quite careful. Like Rafa can stop quite easily. You tell him to stop.
And what about your own social media? Like, would you say, like among your friend group that are French, are you guys like pretty prevalent on social, or does it just
not much?
Okay, not
like,
really.
I am on Facebook, Instagram, but more as I watch, and I use it as a tool to get the news or to find like a decoration or inspiration or something.
Got it.
Not I never post.
Not your thing.
I don't want like to put photos of the kids on
Instagram. Yes,
so
for sure.
I'm not very good on that.
Yeah,
but I do look at it all the time. Not all the time, but every day I look at it.
Okay, so but you're not going to share a ton about your own life. I've heard that's pretty common, like as a French woman, to not be too overt about like what you're putting out in public, or to share too much. And I understand both sides. I think there's, as an American, it's just become so prevalent in the culture of everybomes on it and posting and, and it's, I don't love that part of it at all.
Because you never know if it's true or not, because you only post like what you want.
Yes, of course.
Post.
What you want to
after
share.
You think like, oh, that person, she has an amazing life. And after you meet her, you talk to her, and
like
she doesn't post all the shit things that are happening. So
it's for sure. I mean, that's kind of part of the problem with it, right? Yeah, it's all that.
So it's hard to teach the kids that it's not all about what you show.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's great. Okay, one last question for you, and this is a hard one. What do you think women from other cultures could learn from the French in a positive way?
Yeah, maybe to find a good balance, like to like career wise, like woman wise and family, like to have the good balance.
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I think we
see
have
that.
it a little bit more
Yes.
sometimes because of the working hour, like 35 hours a week. So you can spend some times with your family. In Asia, that was not the case.
Yeah.
Like in Japan, it was ridiculous, the working hours.
Yeah, same.
So you had no time with your family. So I think that part is very good. You can enjoy maybe more your family and what you value outside of work.
Yeah,
so
I love that. I really try to abide by that of like, I think there's a good perspective in France about working to live, not living to work.
Yeah.
And I like that as a like general rule because I do think it helps you prioritize what matters most to you.
Yes.
Like, and you know, I think a lot of us as mothers like would say spending time with our children and our families like matters so much, especially as they're younger ages and actually, you know, want to still spend time with us.
I know.
As we know that's going to fade. And so I like that perspective because I do think the French women really do that well and make it look effortless, even though it's probably not.
Yes.
But no, that's great advice. So awesome. Well, thank you so much, Lou, for coming on. We're so nice to have you and to chat. So let us know what you thought. And please follow us on cuckoo.pod. And we will be back soon with our final episode in our French Women Unfiltered series. So thanks again. Bye-bye.